inventory, or you can just hit like the 1 key to activate the item in the 1 slot. You can rebind these keybinds if you'd like, and that is definitely the way you want to activate these items, because it's going to be much faster to do it that way. So you can activate this item once every 60 seconds, and what does it give you? It gives you 20% move speed, 50% attack speed. That is a lot. It lets you catch people, it lets you keep up with people. I suppose occasionally it'll let you run away.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Go minions. But even then, the move speed is nice, but the 50% attack speed is ridiculously good. Very, very strong. This is what you use to gank and kill people. They're not going to be able to get away from you, and you're going to be hitting them super fast and beating the snot out of them. It's amazing. Now, it only lasts for 4 seconds as a default, but as long as you're attacking people, it will increase its duration by 2 seconds each time you hit them, up to a maximum of 8 seconds total. So effectively, what this translates to is if you're using it to run away, it lasts for 4 seconds. If you're using it to attack someone, it lasts for 8 seconds. 8 seconds of hitting someone for 50% more damage and them not being able to outrun you, you are going to get kills with this item. There's no doubt about it. Yuumu's Ghostblade is fantastic. I think it's a must-have for anyone physical. And one of the things that's worth mentioning is, if you're the sort of person who likes to take Ghost, you may not need to take Ghost anymore, because what Ghost provided to you, the Ghost Blade is sort of doing for you as well, in that it gives you that move speed that you need to run away and or chase people down. Now, it's not exactly the same as Ghost, but it gives you the option of replacing it with an Ignite, an Exhaust, a Flash, so that you have a slightly different option. On the other hand, there's nothing wrong with having both Ghost and a Ghost Blade if that's really what you like. The Black Cleaver. The Black Cleaver is one of the 3 items that upgrades from a BF Sword. Obviously, it's going to mean a lot of attack damage, so it upgrades from a BF Sword and a Long Sword. It's a very expensive item. It's definitely not something you're going to be rushing, because it's just taking too long to build. But it is a very, very good item. So how much does it cost combined? 800 gold. What are you getting for 800 gold? You're getting a 15 attack damage for free, and a passive. The passive is, every time you hit someone, you decrease their armor by 12, and it stacks a maximum of 5 times. So if you've hit them 5 times in a row, that you'll have decreased their armor by 60. 60 is a lot of armor reduction. There's no denying that. That is a lot of armor reduction. And assuming you've got attack speed, that armor reduction will be applied extremely quickly. And of course, if you've hopefully you're stacking attack speed, because it'll combo well with the amount of attack damage you're getting from building this item, so that you will end up doing a lot of damage. Now, the question of, is building this item worth it, is going to depend on a lot of factors. One of the factors is going to be, what is your team like? Because, it is pretty good, and it certainly will help you kill people faster, but I would argue that on a one-on-one situation, there are better ways to spend your money to kill people faster. Maybe going into an Infinity Edge instead of the Black Cleaver. I don't know. I haven't really done all of the math. But what this really comes down to is, if you have a good team that is also doing physical damage and that coordinates enough to all focus the same target, well, if you're lowering a target's armor and your buddies are also attacking the target, obviously your buddies are going to also be doing a lot more damage. So you're going to kill people really, really fast. So it's really good if you can coordinate a gank. And it's interesting that I'm playing as Warwick right now, because his ultimate allows him to more or less instantly hit someone 5 times. Okay? He just goes whack, 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 whack. Hits people 5 times almost instantaneously. Well, if he gets the Black Cleaver, he does his ultimate, and they will have 5 stacks of the Black Cleaver on them. At least I believe it applies a stack every time. I'm 95% sure that this is how it works. If it doesn't work that way, please correct me in the comments, and I will put an annotation on this video straightening it out. But so the Black Cleaver is actually pretty decent on Warwick, although there's lots of items that Warwick likes to have, so it's going to be some competition for that slot. The Bloodthirster, one of the other 3 items that the BF Sword upgrades into. The Bloodthirster is, this is like the granddaddy of items on a character that's been fed, because it will allow him to just keep feeding and eating people and doing really, really good stuff. Not feeding, but being fed. So what do you get? Okay, let's see. It costs 900 gold to complete this recipe. This is a lot of money. There's no denying it. This is one of the highest upgrade costs in the game. There are a few that have like 1,000 or even an 1,100 gold upgrade cost, like Warmog's armor, which I won't talk about anymore. But this is really high up there. So let's analyze what this item is giving you. So for the 900 gold, you are getting an extra 10 attack damage. Okay, so the equivalent of a longsword. And an extra 3% lifesteal, which is not worth writing home about. And then you get the passive, which is you get an additional 1 physical damage and 0.25% lifesteal per kill. This is a minion kill or hero kill, it doesn't matter. Obviously, the majority of it is probably going to come from minion kill. It gives you up to a maximum of plus 40, so basically 40 minion kills is when it caps out. If you can get this item and then farm up 40 minion kills, you're now going to have an item that gives you overall 100 attack damage and 25% lifesteal. Lifesteal obviously does something. It certainly helps to survive in a one-on-one situation. It effectively gives you a larger health pool, but it's not the sort of thing you want to depend on in a fight, simply because any kinds of stuns or a blind or anything like that shuts down your ability to regenerate life, and you are just going to be left with your normal squishiness. So in certain situations it can make you effectively a lot tougher, but not in all situations. It's not something we want to rely on, although it's quite nice, and of course ensures that you're effectively regenerating health between battles as long as you're hitting things, and you can start every battle at pretty much full health. You're mostly getting this for the attack damage, because the attack damage is what's killing people. So the question becomes, how many kills do you need to have for this item to be worthwhile? Let's ignore the lifesteal for a second, because for your 900 gold, you're not really getting a lot of lifesteal. 10 attack damage that you're getting for free for your 900 is the same cost as a longsword, which is 415 gold, which leaves a cost of 485 to make up for, which is slightly more than the cost of a longsword in itself. So once you get to the maybe, say, 15 kill point, this item is probably breaking even, and then above that, it is gravy. Of course, you lose all your bonuses if you die. Excuse me. So it's another case of you don't want to die. You want to keep this item to be quite strong. I don't know. The Bloodthirster is good, and it's good for the slot. This tends to be a late game item, and late game you don't have a lot of inventory slots, and slot per slot, it's giving you a lot of bonuses. You need to make sure to get this on someone you're going to farm with. When you buy this item, you want to go out and kill yourself, maybe 20 minions, and then you're going to be rocking and really, really good. So there it is. It is a good item, but with the caveat that you have to remember to farm a little bit once you've got it. And then don't die. I've talked about the Frozen Mallet before. I don't remember if I talked about the Blood Razor last time. I feel like I probably did, but I'm going to just mention it again briefly. The Blood Razor is a great, great item. One of the best items in the game for anyone physical, because A, it just continues to stack attack damage, attack speed, which is good, armor, which is never bad, helps you survive against other physical carries, but it gives you a passive that is just incredible. Every time you hit someone, you deal 4% of their maximum health. Maximum health. Doesn't matter what their current health is. So this is obviously scales unbelievably well against tanks, but even really against any character. Once you get into the mid to late game, any character has a respectable amount of health. I mean, even someone with, like, let's say a pure caster who's super squishy, who's never invested in any health items whatsoever, they may have around 1,000 hit points. Which means that Madred's Blood Razor is letting you do an extra 40 points of damage per hit. Well, that's effectively the same as 40 attack damage. That's a lot. So this item is giving you 70 attack damage. Very, very good. And of course, against any tank that has more health than that, if you run into a tank that's got like a ridiculous 4,000 hit points, well, then it's going to be generating a bonus 160 damage per hit, which means this one item is responsible for effectively 190 attack damage. Really, really strong item, and it scales really well with attack speed. The more attack speed you get, the more that this 4% bonus damage is going to matter. So it's good on a lot of heroes, and it's good as a late game thing. It's actually something you can rush, and it would still be good. But if you, the later in the game it is, the more effective damage it's going to be doing, and the more attack speed you'll probably have, so it'll have scaled much, much better. Alright, Trinity Force. Okay, the Trinity Force is the granddaddy of all